All right, welcome. It's the 10th day of June, 2025 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is a meeting of the Board of Uintah County Commissioners. If you have it, please turn your telephones, anything else that makes noise, down to where we can't hear it, or turn it off. We'll start with Sherry Bolden having the prayer and Charlene with the pledge.
Is it on, Sherry?
I don't think so.
Is it red?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right. Our Father in heaven, we're thankful for the opportunity to live in such a beautiful part of the world, and we're thankful for our community here. We'd ask that thy Spirit might attend this meeting, that the decisions made here will be for the benefit of the citizens of this county. We're thankful for the beautiful weather, and we're thankful for the many blessings this area provides. We ask a blessing on our farmers, on our petroleum industry, for our ranchers, our businessmen, that they may prosper. We're thankful for all that we have, and say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. There she is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Very nice. First order of business is going to be an introduction of new employees. We have one or two, or five.
All right. As you guys know, we have had quite a bit of turnover in our extension office the last couple of months. So I have brought most of our office here. Some of them are at a conference right now, so they will come next week. But majority of them. So I have Jessica Richens, who is not new, but she is part-time, and every time we get to come to a commission meeting, she's always out of the office. So she wanted to come today to meet you guys.
We like it.
Yep, and then we have Paige Christensen, who is our new full-time 4-H coordinator. She's been with us for about a month now, and she's been doing amazing. So, and then I've got two interns. We've got Blake Holmes and Aubrey Harrison, so they'll be with us for the summer. And then Miss Cammie Williams was hired as our new staff assistant, and she started yesterday. So, she is learning lots.
Well, welcome to each of you. Please don't run away. Cheyenne's bark is a lot worse than her bite.
Okay, thank you.
Very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard. It's glad to have you. Looking forward to working with you this year. All right. Approval of the minutes for June 2nd, 24. Special joint meeting, Uintah Transportation SSD, June 2nd, 24, and a special joint meeting with USSD 1, June 3rd, 2025, and June 4th, 2025 work session. That's a mouthful. Right? Yes. We're going to do all of them at once.
I'd make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Call for a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Mr. Wilkins, approval of the warrants.
Commissioners, I have warrants from June 5th in the amount of $795,756.19. I know there's a lot, but it's just the monthly bills, monthly insurances. The only one that's really out of the ordinary on that one is we paid our annual contribution to the Dinosaur Roundup Rodeo of $25,000.
I'm sorry, can you say the amount one more time?
The total amount, $795,756.19,
Thank you. And that was June 5th?
June 5th.
Okay, thank you. I would make a motion that we approve the warrants as presented by Mike Wilkins.
Questions, comments? Call for a vote.
Aye.
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 There's a lot in those minutes. It's a big one.
Oh,
Go ahead.
thanks.
I'm just checking.
I've got the next several items on there. Want to do tax matters first?
Yes, let's do tax matters first.
Okay, Commissioners, we have a disabled veteran that paid his property taxes on his car online, and therefore we need to refund back $80 to a Timothy Calhoun out of tax district number 2. And he did apply last year and everything qualified. He renewed it in December.
Okay.
I-
Go ahead.
I would make a motion that we approve the, would we call it a refund
It's a refund.
of $80 as presented by Mike Wilkins.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. All right, approval certified tax rate, Mike.
Okay, Commissioners, the certified tax rate for this year for Uintah County is .001376. This is for the general fund, the library, flood control, tort liability, and health. Bringing the total revenue for Uintah County for this year would be $8,198.20. This is the certified tax rate, which allows us to get our new growth that came through for us this last year. It is a reduction in the tax rate from the prior year from 1385 down to 1376. So that's the general rate, and then we also need to have approval of the local county assessing and collecting rate. The certified tax rate on that one is .000446, bringing in $2,684,525.
Was there a shift in a couple of these?
Yes, with that, Commissioners, I'm suggesting that we shift a little bit from the general fund. We have two funds that is getting low on their fund balance, and we're spending more money than we're bringing in. The first one is flood control. We currently, today, we're collecting $35,753. I'm requesting and suggesting that we move that into $50,000, so that'll be reducing the general fund tax rate to bring in $50,000 there. Also, the tort liability, which is our general liability insurance, we were collecting $422,961. I'm suggesting we take that into 0001, which will bring us $595,720 to help support that. And we've been using fund balance the last several years just to make the payments on that one, and fund balances on both those. Flood control has dropped over almost $1 million in the last 4 years with everything that we've been spending for the canals and crossings and stuff like that, to where if we really had a flood, we'd be in a deep hurt. So with that, Commissioner Norton, I would recommend that we do, and I can give you the rates for each one of those. Let me do that. General fund rate is .00000956. There's a certified, the proposed rate is 000925, bringing the general fund budget of $5,508,000. Library is 000255. It stays the same, bringing in $1,520,000. Flood control will go from 506 to 508, bringing in $50,000. Tort liability will go from 071 to 0001, bringing in $595,720, and the health department will go from 000 to 88 and stay at 000 to 88, bringing in $524,300.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So Mike, back up just a second to a comment you made. about new growth. You was very specific in pointing that out, I felt like, so.
Okay.
New growth is that something that we haven't been getting? Is something?
We have not received new growth from Central SS since 2015. The law changed this last year and is doing a 3-year average now for us. So with that 3-year average, centrally assessed new growth this year is actually $263 million in value. We had $44 million in locally assessed real new growth. So with those two numbers there, the county will be collecting $411,973 in new growth tax dollars to Uintah County. That's what I'm suggesting we kind of put them in the appropriate funds that we need them at this time to make them continue to be self-sufficient.
Okay.
Been a long time since we had new growth. Thank you
Yes.
for changing the law, legislature. Okay, we call for a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the certified tax rate as presented by Mike Wilkins.
Any questions or comments?
For both assessing and collecting and the general and Uintah
For
County.
both centrally
Assessing
collecting
and collecting
general.
and the general.
What Mike said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Call for a vote?
Aye.
Aye. All right, URS renewal rates, sir.
Okay, the next one, Commissioners, is annually the actuaries meet for URS and come up with what is their required contribution.
Mike, let me explain. URS is Utah Retirement System.
Correct. Utah Retirement System is URS. Thank you. I did a presentation last week in work session. I don't know if you want me to go through that whole thing again or just summarize it.
Summarize it, please.
Okay, summarize it. In a nutshell, the required contribution for the county, for the general employees, and for Tier 1 is reducing by 1%. Public safety is reducing by 0.5. So between the two of those, and on Tier 2 retirement system, it is also reducing 1% for the rank and file employees and 0.5% for public safety. The required contribution for Tier 2 rank and file employees is increasing from 0.7 to 0.81. So there is a 0.11 increase to the Tier 2 employees, which is anyone hired after July 1st of 2011. You become a Tier 2 employee if you was hired after that date. So there's a reduction in those rates by 1% for rank and file employees and 0.5% for public safety, no matter which system they happen to be in on that one. So with that, Commissioners, the new rate for Tier 1, Fund 15, which is the retirement rates system that we're in, the new rate will be 15.97%. Fund 43, Tier 1 Public Safety Non-Contributory System will be 33.04%. This is where it gets confusing here. Now, Tier 2, Fund 111, this is the hybrid system, depending on if they chose retirement or pension and 401k. They would be in this system. The total rate on that one is 14.19%, with the employee portion being 0.81%. The Tier 2 hybrid public safety system is 27.42. Employee share is 2.14. The county is picking up and has done for several years now 2.59% of the employee's required contribution. But this year there was no change in their contribution. Now, Tier 2, Fund 211, DC only. This is if the employees get to choose. This is 401k only. That rate stayed the same at 14.19%. Tier 2 public safety, that rate is a combined total of 27.42%. You have to add the 2.59% onto the 14% because we pick it up for the Hybrid system, you have to, if you pick it up there, then it has to go on to the public safety employees that shows the deferred comp only. We are currently matching employee contributions to whichever fund beginning July 1, whether they put into the pension or their 401k or 457 or their Roth. We will match up to a 2.5% is how it is currently. I'm suggesting, and it's been brought to you guys for your decision this way, with the reduction in the required contributions to the county, that required contributions from the county, that the county consider increasing the 2.5% match to either remaining where we're at for sure, or increasing it to 3%, or increasing it to 3.5%. Either way, there is funds there to cover any of those scenarios. Just as an FYI, currently 68% of the employees participate in the 401k match. We're hoping that with the July 1st, we now are participating in what the state is calling mandatory auto enrollment. And they have the choice of staying in it or going out of it. That's up to them. But with that, we're anticipating that maybe 75%. We'll move from 68 to 75%. I don't think we'll ever get to 100%, but I hope we do for the employees' sake. And with that, there is sufficient in the budget as it stands today with the additional savings and what was already budgeted. So I would present that the Commissioner's option A as being remain definitely where we're at 2.5%, or increasing option B to 3%, or to 3.5% as option C. So I'll throw that back to you guys.
Okay. Do I have a motion on approval of the rates? And then we'll go for a motion on what we're going to do on the percentage.
Okay, so repeat that. We're going to have a,
If I have a motion to approve the URS renewal rates.
I'll make a motion that we approve the URS renewal rates.
Okay. Do I have a second?
We don't need a second, do we?
I'm sorry. Do I have any questions or comments?
It's a mouthful. A
It
lot
is.
in it. We went over it this morning. It's very in-depth, so.
All right. Call for a vote on URS renewal rates.
Aye.
Hey,
Aye. Okay. Now we need to go to the other half of this that Mike jumped on us. We have enough money for A, 2.5%, which is what we're doing now, B, 3%, or match up to 3.5%. Any questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts on that, or motions?
I'll make a motion. My motion would be to remain at option A where we are currently at in the matching contribution.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Any questions or comments?
No, I think in looking at this, I believe that the money that we're saving, I think it would, using it for employees now in possible cost of living raises or merit is something that I'd like to maybe see some of this used for. The savings.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is 2.5%, which is retain where we are. And I'll call for a vote.
Aye.
Nay. Okay, passes.
Okay.
Matt? Awarding request for qualification under UC 25-5 Cultural Resource Survey Report.
I got too many papers. Let me get out. That one, and you need to actually hear one, so.
Okay, A few weeks ago, the RFQs for this cultural resource survey were opened. We had 3 RFQs that were received.
Matt, would you
Yes,
mind
I'm sorry.
explaining what this was for?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So the cultural resource survey is for the detention basins at Yellow Hill and Coal Mine Basin. It's required by State Trust Lands Administration because we are negotiating a lease with them to use properties that they own as part of these detention basins. And so this is a requirement from State Trust Lands in order for us to be able to lease the property. We have to get this cultural resource survey done. So we did receive 3 RFQs, requests for qualifications. All of them did include a cost with them, and they ranged from $7,668.50, which was from Bighorn Archaeological Consultants, to the highest, which was Tetra Tech at $31,326. And then there was kind of a middle one, Pinion Environmental, at $9,779.80. So with that, I did send these over to the Trust Lands Administration to make sure that they're comfortable with any one of these 3 and that they could do the work, and or if they've had problems with them in the past or anything. They said that they've worked with all 3 of them before and that they would all be able to do the work and complete it. So with that, my recommendation is that we go with Bighorn Archaeological Consultants, LLC. Their price was $7,668.50. These funds, I guess when we first started this, these funds were going to come out of flood control. I know we just talked about that fund is deteriorating, but unless we want to get them from somewhere else. But that's what was talked about in the past to pay for this stuff. So.
Okay.
Is any of those 3 companies local, or are they all?
No, Bighorn is probably the closest to us. They're out of Orem. Pinion was out of Colorado. And Tetra Tech, I don't know where they were from, but they were way out of the price range, so it doesn't matter if they're local or not, I guess.
On that one,
But,
yes.
Yeah, and I actually didn't grab that one. But they're not local.
Okay. Call for a motion?
I would make a motion that we award the RFQ number UC 25-5 Cultural Resource Survey Report to Bighorn for $7,668.50.
Any more discussion, comments? Call for vote?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Jenny? Since Lance isn't here, I assume it's you. Unless you want somebody beside you to do it.
He's asked that it be tabled. He's stuck in a court hearing, so I don't have his contract with me.
Private termination of parental rights contract form approval.
So if he shows up, maybe we can just swap places on the agenda.
Like, jump down the agenda to see if he makes it.
It's just a form.
I don't have it with
She
me.
doesn't know
Oh, you don't
anything
know it?
about it.
No.
Oh, we'll table it till he gets back.
I mean, I could try, but
And if he doesn't, we'll have our esteemed attorney deal with it. All right. Division of Outdoor Recreation OHVR grant. Trails Coordinator.
yes. So Uintah County received a grant for the continued funding of our trails coordinator, who's responsible for trail planning, maintenance, expanding the OHV trail system, managing the seasonal trails crew, and organizing OHV events. The Division of Outdoor Rec has awarded $142,346.88 to cover 2 years of salary. But I do need to clarify because the packet I gave the commissioners indicated that it was his full salary, but it's only 90% because they will only fund OHV related activities as part of his duties. The county's match will be the benefits as part of his full-time status. The contract's in effect through September 30th, 2027. Lauren Anderson has reviewed it, and it was electronically signed by Commissioner Larson on June 3rd because of the time-sensitive nature of the contract. We have a contract in place that's partially funding this position right now, and we didn't want a gap in that funding. So I'm asking the commission to ratify this contract.
So this OHV grant comes out of registrations and those kinds of things?
Yes, you're right.
And does this mean at the end of 2 years, Mike's no more employed?
No,
Okay.
or else he probably wouldn't be happy that I got this grant.
Okay, call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve this outdoor rec OHVR grant as presented by Gennie Bird.
We'll call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff Labram.
Did you see that Lance came
That's
in?
all right. He can wait.
I was just making sure you knew.
Local
that
Public
Ken-
Safety and Firefighter Surviving Spouse Trust Fund Cost Sharing Agreement.
Okay, this is the agreement that we get every year and sign every year. This is if we have a in the line of duty death, then the county will pay the insurance for the surviving spouse and any child member until they reach the age of 26. We have to pay $100 for each sworn deputy that we have, which is we have 82. That will cover the cost of health care, and if we stay current, then the county can get reimbursed for those funds that we pay for health insurance. And this needs to be signed by the end of the month by me and the Commissioner of Public Safety.
Then what is the cost?
It's $100 per
So 82.
active.
82,000?
So 8,200.
Or 8,200? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I was thinking. All right, call for a motion.
I would make a motion that we approve the Local Public Safety and Firefighter Surviving Spouse Trust Fund Cost Sharing Agreement as presented by Steve Labram.
Questions, comments, statements?
Was that painful?
Yes. Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Security and bailiff contract, Sheriff. 25,
Sorry, both
26.
of these have been reviewed by Lauren Anderson as well. This is our new court security contract. Our old contract was for $173,828.34. We had an addendum a couple months ago that they gave us $30,000 more for a total of $203,828.34. And this contract is for $215,429.76, and the term is from July 1/25 to 6/30 of 26. This is just to provide security for 8th District Court.
What was the time frame on that again, Steve?
July 1st of this year to June 30th of 26.
Okay.
Okay, any questions, comments?
And this has my signature, commission, county attorney, and then several by the state. So once I get county attorney and commission, I need to send it on.
Questions or comments? Call for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the security and bailiff contract FY 2025-2026 as presented by Sheriff Steve Labram.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, sir. Oh. I was signing a copy you gave me. Mr. Dean? If you'd like to show up. Just that one page, Steve.
Lance Dean with the Public Defender Office. We were notified by the Indigent Defense Commission, which is our big grant provider, that they're no longer going to be handling or doing the payments for private termination of parental rights cases. There's a statutory obligation that parents will be represented when anyone else files a private petition to terminate parental rights. And that obligation is now turned back on us. So what we've basically done is we took the Indigent Defense Commission's contract and switched out Uintah County to be the payor and just switched it all out, and we're asking for approval of the form. We've basically just, we're going to be taking that responsibility, so the billing will go through us rather than through the Indigent Defense Commission.
And we end up paying the bill?
Yep.
How much we talking?
I would say that every year, there's probably no more than 3 in the year. Our rate that we're paying right now, I'm going to be asking later that hourly rate be changed, but at this point, it's $90 an hour. And so I don't know if I have any figures right now about that, because all of those figures went to the Indigent Defense Commission, and now they're just asking us to take over those responsibilities for paying it. I would assume it's under $8,000.
And
That's
we're
just a-
required by law to take care of that.
Yes.
Would you mind seeing if you can get those figures, though, so we'll have them for future?
Sure, to find out like how many or things like that. Okay, yeah. I think I can get those.
Thank you.
Anything else? Questions, comments, concerns?
Lots of concerns, but.
Lance is working for free to pay this bill, but okay. Call for a motion.
Where we at here?
Go for
Steve.
7.
I make a motion that we approve the private termination parental rights contract. Pick up that as presented.
Form. Just
Form,
Yeah. There you go.
okay, as presented by Lance Dean.
Questions, comments? Call for a vote?
Aye.
All right, sir. You got
Thank
it.
you.
Anyone like to make a public comment today? Going once? Going twice? Commissioner Fever, do you have a motion?
I move we adjourn.
So granted.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming.